So let's just settle in to your meditation posture and just check where your mind is at. Try and bring your mind to the same place your body is. And check your posture, your feet, legs, hands, sits bones raised. And also I keep forgetting to remind everyone about this. If you are sitting in a chair or on a couch and you have a surface behind you, try not to lean into that surface, because that's the kind of relaxed mode. And although we are kind of relaxed, we need to be alert. It's also not great for your posture to be sort of leaning back like this, unless, of course, you're either in pain or not very well. But for everyone who's fully functional, it's really good if you can sit up as straight as possible, shoulders aligned with the hips, and imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light, very gently being lengthened, perhaps by a puppeteer above the crown of your head. Just imagine someone behind you, above you, just very gently pulling on that string. Your head is very slightly tipped forward and the eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose and the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. Relax the jaw. And bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead and the eyes, the nose, and the cheeks, and the mouth. And then bring your attention to the back of the neck, back of the head, sorry, and relax your scalp there, and the ears, the temples, the jaw again, the back of the tongue. Relax, release any tension in the back of the neck and just allow your shoulders and your shoulder blades to drop down. So it's really good with your elbows to think about them kind of relaxed but by your side. So you'll notice if you experiment a little bit, if you kind of wave your elbows out here, you actually are rolling your shoulders forward. So you're kind of encouraging a kind of a rounding. So although we are relaxed, just try and keep your shoulders down by your side, a little bit of, but not too tight, just in a relaxed way, and continue to lengthen. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly, limbs, hands, fingers, and feet and toes. And bring the mind to the breath. And just notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. And try and put some space in between your thoughts. So whatever's arising in the mind, even if it's weird and wacky, just notice what's there. Don't try and hide it or push it away. Feel proud of it. Don't judge it or get entangled in it. Just allow it to be there and notice. And the sounds, if there's any sounds in your environment, just allow them to be there as well. Getting back to our thoughts, just put yourself in that river, on the bank of the river, and just see yourself watching this river flow on by. So while you're watching that river, and while you're on the bank of that river, you're free from the river. So it's like that with our thoughts. So let's just bring to mind all those people of our life. So there's those ones who are very, very dear to us. They're precious. We try and we work hard at those relationships. We take care of them. And then there's those people that we have some difficulty with or just don't like. Or maybe they've harmed us. And then there's those people who we're a little bit indifferent to because we don't think of them as part of our life. We see them on the freeway or in the supermarket or on the street. And we might say hi, or we might just notice the color of their hair or the type of car they're driving, but we don't think about them after that. But all these people, every sentient being, is deserving of our concern equally. Because every single sentient being wishes to be happy, and every sentient being wishes to be free from suffering. And they all have this incredible mind, this potential for this enlightened, omniscient mind, just like us, just like you. So I think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, this purification. And as I've been saying, in your mind, invite a person that you might think might benefit from doing this meditation but wouldn't come, maybe wouldn't show up. So just bring them along, put them beside you. Have them here with you doing the meditation together. So just remembering there is no negativity that cannot be purified, and this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind. So instead this evening we're going to create positivity with our mind. So first of all, in the four opponent powers, we're doing this Vajrasattva practice in the context of the four opponent powers, is the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of the heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech. And what you might find is happening is that you might be starting to remember things. Things might kind of pop up and you're like, oh, I did that. So that's good. It's part of the purification process. It's no good buried. It's good if it sort of turns up and you can actually work with it. That's fantastic. So if something difficult arises, just rejoice. It's like, oh yes, I'd forgotten about that. Let's work with that. And the reason to regret is based on the logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. So having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of future suffering. So we know from the present suffering we don't want it. So logically we want to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and think, I'm sick of suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. We rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods we can use to purify. And we're not asking Vajrasattva to forgive us. It's more than that. We don't want his kind of approval. We're actually wanting his methods to heal ourselves. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And you can also imagine this is your teacher, your spiritual mentor, manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. And he has, he's made of radiant, blissful white light. And you're sitting cross-legged on a white lotus. And this lotus, although born out of mud, is untainted by that mud, just like our enlightened potential, which is born out of our delusions, but yet untainted by them. And he has this beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he's not looking at you in any kind of judgment at all. no critical thoughts. He's just really happy to see you. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood, so to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think of someone that you've harmed recently, and in the past, and then perhaps in general all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember maybe those who have harmed you, and really have a sense of compassion for them because of the harm they've caused you that is going to ripen as harm for them in the future. So you make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And now we come to the power of remedy, and this is the actual medicine doing the practice of purification. So we start with purifying the body. So you imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sending powerful white nectar, like sort of coming out of a hose or a waterfall, very forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mebiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mipiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mipiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mipiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mipiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mipiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mipiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you have ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified. And think there is no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So the next is a purification of the speech, and again Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra. And it arcs around and quite forcefully again enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and swearing and being kind of unkind to people with your speech, and useless speech, and lying and talking badly about others behind their back, getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sepokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sepokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sepokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sepokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sepokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sepokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Sepokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasiti Mempiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe. So feel really delighted that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. So we spend most of our day talking, and I would say for most of us this is probably where we do the most harm, unless we're doing harm to ourselves with our own mind, with our negative self-talk. But this would be something really, really, really beneficial if we could just wish for every single syllable that falls out of our mouths to be of benefit to others. And that would be so amazing. So there's not a single word wasted. So next is a purification of the mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately again sends powerful beams of light this time from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a dark room and you switch on a light. The darkness is instantly dispelled. So it's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all the anger and depression, anxiety and attachment and grasping and neediness and jealousy and bitterness and grudges, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Duda Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Supokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Duda Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Supokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Duda Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Supokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Duda Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Supokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Duda Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Supokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Duda Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Supokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Duda Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Supokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is a purification of the imprints, subtle imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. So you can imagine Vajrasattva again sending light, except light and nectar. And if you wish, you can recite a couple of mantras each for the visualizations of the body and of the speech and of the mind. And you can also, if that's kind of a little bit too busy, you can also just imagine light and nectar pouring in and filling you completely. And imagine it eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negativity, negative energy from your mind. So it's even subtler than imprints. It's kind of like just an energetic residue of negative actions and negative karmic seeds. As we recite the mantra, Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Duda Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Supokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Duda Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Supokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Duda Mibowa Sutokaya Mibowa Supokaya Mibowa Anarakta Mibowa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Karuhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Didu Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mata Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Didu Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mata Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Didu Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mata Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Didu Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Satame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mata Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So now feel completely purified. Not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So next is the power of resolve. And again, don't forget to rejoice that you're coming here on a Friday night. End of the week, probably tired, you've been busy. So just think you've put this time aside instead of doing something else. So rejoice in that. It takes quite a bit of discipline and commitment. So that's amazing. So rejoice for that, and then rejoice in your efforts for all the bits and pieces you've been working on this week, steadily, humbly, gradually. So that's fantastic. And then just bring to mind something you'd like to work on, maybe over the weekend. Maybe think of something that you would like to sort of focus in on from between now and Monday night. And it doesn't have to be all day, every day. It can just be 30 seconds in the weekend, on the Saturday or the Sunday. So just like that, keep it simple, make it doable, make it something that we can rejoice. Oh yes, I did that, tick it off. And Vajrasattva is delighted with us, wanting to merge with your mind. He melts into light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call that union oneness. So next, Rinpoche, Lama Zopa Rinpoche recommends to meditate in the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, you place your mind there for a little while. So in this way, you look at all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can also think that perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created this evening doing this purification, and actually for this week, to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, Ho Tub Shul Chang Shin Jam Gon Galloway, Tenzin Kyong Pelway Kunzo Dog Porze, Chog Sum Kuraway Leg Mon Tu Dru, Padag Sog Dulje Gondu Jab Ten Shog. And for LAMA YESHE, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds out of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Shera, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everybody, have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Lots of love. And I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Thank you, Alexis, for hosting.